Hello guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, we got some crazy news out here where I'm at, Houston, Texas. Shout out Houston. And this right here sounds like something you would see in like a cartel film or something. Early this morning, a report came in of a fire over top of a bridge or on the side of a bridge. Firefighters responded, and when they put the flames out, come to find out it was a body of a man that was set on fire, hanging from a freeway, 610 to be exact. Not a lot of details are out for this, but what they do have, just thinking about it in itself, is horrifying. We're seeing levels of violence from people that, I guess feel that they've been wronged in some way, taking it to the next level in punishing people. This might be one of them stories. Take a look.
News this morning, a disturbing case from overnight. Homicide detectives are investigating after a body was found burning and hanging from the underside of the 610 loop.
KPRC2 News reporter Brittany Jeffers is joining us live in our newsroom now with what we know about this investigation. Brittany.
Yeah, Owen and Sophia, there is a lot of questions surrounding this case this morning. I've been going through the interview with Houston police. Here's what we know right now. Around 10 o'clock last night, officers say that a Union Pacific Railroad worker called in a fire that was under the North Loop near Wayside. Now, if you take a look at your screen, this is video into our newsroom from overnight. It's very dark, but you can see detectives out there. They're walking around the area with flashlights. When officers arrived, they say they found a man's body hanging from under the underpass. It was partially on fire. They say the victim died, and police noted that there is a homeless encampment near the area. But again, as I mentioned, a lot of questions. And the reason for this, there's no witnesses at this point. So police are trying to determine what led up to this and how that fire was set. Investigators did note that they believe that this was a homicide. However, they're going to have to wait until the autopsy report comes back to determine a cause of death. Of course, we're making calls to try to get more information from detectives as far as who this person is and why this happened. In the meantime, if you have any information, if you were in the area, please contact police or Crime Stopper.
So following breaking news from overnight after a man's body was found hanging underneath the East Loop. And we do want to warn you, some of the details in this story are even more disturbing.
Ugochi Loka joining us live from the scene near Kirkpatrick Boulevard. Okay, Ugochi, what do we know?
Well, Jacob and Alona, I've got to tell you, the details, in fact, of this case are rather grim. Right now, we're next to a storage facility, which is close to this spot where a man was found hanging by a rope from the underside of this 610 freeway, all while on fire. Sadly, he did not survive. This is video of officers looking around after HFD responded to a fire here near the 5,000 block of Kirkpatrick and 610 just after 10 p.m. last night. Now, it was Union Pacific employees who first found the scene and called Houston firefighters, first reporting this as a brush fire. Officials say when firefighters put out the fire, they realized it was a man's body in flames, dangling by a rope. HPD says those firefighters got the fire out, but the man was already dead. A lieutenant investigating the tragedy says there were no witnesses around when they responded. She describes the location near the fire and how they need the community's help with this case.
It seems that it's a homeless encampment that's here as well. As far as where the fire was set, if anyone has any information regarding this incident, we do urge them to reach out to Crime Stoppers with any information they might have, and the Houston Police Homicide Division.
And just tragic altogether. They're coming up in the next hour. Why police are saying they don't think this was a suicide. In fact, they believe it was a homicide. Reporting live in Northeast Houston, Ugochi Iloka, KHOU 11 News.
That shit is crazy, folks. And you seen them. Oh, the death is ruled a homicide. You think so? I don't know anybody that's doing that type of stuff. Like, I don't believe everybody's jumping into the bayou and ending themselves out here. They finding bodies on top of bodies on top of bodies. But I will tell you this. This right here, somebody was pissed off. Now, they said this happened over there on the 610 North Loop, which is a major highway, right? I don't know how nobody's seen that. You know what I'm saying? And then they say it's over there by, what's that neighborhood they just said it was over there by? I know that neighborhood. It's over there where CD Gas and all of that, them neighborhoods is. Shut off CD Gas. That's hood over there. Nobody see anything? Mad people they have walking around there all hours at night. This person pissed somebody off, and they said they thought it was a burning bush first hanging from a railroad bridge. How did nobody see that? I'm still trying to get past that. They said they put the flames out and realized it was a dude. Now he said there's a homeless encampment over there. I don't think that homeless encampment had anything to do with it. I think whoever did it probably didn't even know it was a homeless encampment over there. But that sounded like some cartel type stuff. Something you'll see in Mexico or something. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, I mean, that's what's out right now. Ain't a lot more information. But can you just imagine that? I wonder what he was doing yesterday before he had an untimely demise. I wonder how his day was going. I wonder how he was thinking. I'm more than sure one of the things he was thinking that he would never end up in that situation. That just goes to tell you the level of violence inflicted on one another in this country nowadays is baffling. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what kind of accelerant they used to burn this man up. I don't know if he had the accelerant on him already before they put him out there, what he was hanging from. I guess it was rope. But to set all of that up, there's no cars, no nothing. You got to be bold as hell to jump out. They had to do that quick. For real, they did that from the top of the bridge. They ain't do that from the bottom, because if he was hanging from the bridge, they had to have the anchor point on top, and they only way they can establish that is being on that highway. But either way, man, I mean, damn, I mean, this is something you don't see every day. This is like straight out of a movie. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine whoever was in that train? You know what I'm saying? They coming down the track, they see a fire, so they slow the train because it's a big train yard over there, like an exchange point, a junction yard where they move boxcars to different directions in the country for Union Pacific. But could you imagine you leaving out of the train yard or coming into the freight yard and you see that and you're like, you stop, radio it in, they come out there, come to find out it's a burnt up dude. I'm anxious to see what nationality he is. Because that right there seemed like some Juarez Sicario type movie shit. You know, like a lot of times the cartels be hanging people from bridge with their heads off. And that right there is a statement. And I'm more than sure by now, those that the statement was for, they get the message. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. This is all preliminary information right now. As more information comes out, maybe the suspect's ID'd, I'll have more information for you. But it would not shock me if this guy was some type of Latino, because that right there looked like a killing method that they do south of the border. See you in the next video. Take care.